Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Listen with Stories. Take a slow breath in and breathe out. Today, we tell the story of a boy who was called Slow, a student who failed his entrance exam, a young man who could not find a job, a thinker who spent years invisible to the world. And then he changed everything. This is the story of Albert Einstein. Before we begin, if you are learning English and you love stories like this, please subscribe to Listen with Stories. Every week, we bring you a new story, told slowly and clearly, just for you. Press that subscribe button now. It takes 1 second, and it means so much. Albert Einstein is born on the 14th of March, 1879, in Ulm, Germany. His family is simple. His father, Hermann, sells electrical equipment. His mother, Pauline, loves music. They are a warm family, a thinking family. But young Albert is different from other children. He does not speak his first words until he is 2 years old. Some people think he has a problem. His teachers are worried. One teacher tells his parents that Albert will never be successful. Albert is quiet. He likes to sit alone. He asks big questions, questions that adults cannot answer. He wants to know, what does light look like if you run beside it? End quote. He is not interested in memorizing facts. He is interested in understanding how the world works. This makes school very difficult for him. He hates the strict German school system. Teachers shout. Students repeat words like machines. Albert cannot do this. He needs to think freely. He needs to imagine. At 15, his family moves to Milan, Italy. Albert is left behind in Germany to finish school. He is alone. He is unhappy. He leaves school without finishing. He fails. But inside, he is still asking questions, big questions, dangerous questions, questions that no one else is asking. Albert decides he wants to study physics at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich. This is one of the best schools in Europe. He takes the entrance exam. He fails. The school tells him he is too young and not prepared. He is only 16. He goes to a small school in Aarau, Switzerland, to prepare again. There, something wonderful happens. The teachers do not shout. They encourage thinking. Albert finally feels free. He passes the exam the second time. He enters the university. But university is not easy either. Albert skips many classes. He reads books by himself in his room. His professor, Hermann Minkowski, is frustrated with him. He calls Albert a lazy dog. Albert graduates in 1900, but he cannot find a job. He applies to be a university assistant. Every professor says no. He applies for teaching positions. Everyone says no. Mine? He spends 2 years unemployed. He tutors children. He borrows money. He struggles every single day. In 1902, a friend finally helps him get a job at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. He reviews other people's inventions. It is not glamorous work. It is not what he dreamed of, but it gives him time. And in the quiet hours, Albert Einstein keeps thinking. The year is 1905. Albert Einstein is 26 years old. He has no university position. He has no famous name. He is just a young man working in an office. And in that 1 year, he publishes 4 scientific papers that shake the entire world of physics. The first paper explains the photoelectric effect. the idea that light is made of tiny particles called photons. This changes how we understand light forever. The second paper explains Brownian motion, the tiny random movement of particles in water. This proves that atoms really exist. The third paper introduces the special theory of relativity. Einstein tells the world, time is not fixed. Space is not fixed. Everything depends on how fast you are moving. This breaks the rules of physics that Isaac Newton wrote 200 years earlier. And then, the fourth paper gives the world the most famous equation in history. E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. In one small equation, Einstein shows that matter and energy are the same thing, that a tiny amount of mass can become an enormous amount of energy. The world does not immediately understand. It takes time, but slowly, scientists begin to read his work, and they are stunned. 1905 is later called his annus mirabilis, his miracle year. For years, even after his brilliant papers, Einstein remains mostly unknown outside science. But in 1915, he completes his greatest work, the general theory of relativity. This theory explains gravity in a completely new way. Einstein says, gravity is not a force that pulls. Gravity is a curve in space and time itself. Massive objects like the sun bend the fabric of space around them, and other objects follow that curve. It is a breathtaking idea, almost impossible to believe. Then comes the test. On the 29th of May, 1919, there is a total solar eclipse. British scientist Arthur Eddington travels to West Africa to observe it. He takes photographs of stars near the sun, and he finds exactly what Einstein predicted. The sun's gravity bends the light from those stars. The news travels around the world in hours. Newspapers everywhere announce, light bends. Newton was wrong. Einstein was right. Overnight, Albert Einstein becomes the most famous scientist in the world. He is 40 years old. He spent 20 years in the shadows, 20 years of doubt and failure and invisible work, and now the whole world knows his name. Albert Einstein wins the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. He travels the world. He meets kings and presidents. He speaks about peace. He speaks about education. He speaks about the importance of imagination. In 1933, when the Nazi Party rises in Germany, Einstein is in the United States. He never returns to Germany. He settles at Princeton University in New Jersey. He works there quietly for the rest of his life. He continues to search for a unified theory, one great equation that explains everything in the universe. He never finds it, but he never stops searching. On the 18th of April, 1955, Albert Einstein dies peacefully in Princeton. He is 76 years old. He leaves behind a world changed forever by his thinking. We have GPS today because of his theory of relativity. We have nuclear energy because of E equals mc squared. We understand the universe better because one quiet boy from Germany refused to stop asking questions. He failed. He was called slow. He was ignored. He was unemployed. And then he changed time itself. A message for English learners. My friends, you are listening to this story in English. Maybe some words were new for you today. Maybe some sentences were fast. That is completely normal. Every time you listen, you improve. Every story makes you stronger. Every word you hear becomes a little more familiar. Albert Einstein did not understand everything immediately. Neither did his teachers. Neither did the world. Understanding takes time. End quote. You are doing something very brave. You are learning a new language. That is hard. But you keep going. Just like Einstein, keep asking questions. Keep being curious. And never let anyone tell you that you are too slow. You are exactly where you need to be. Thank you so much for listening today. If this story stayed with you, please leave a comment below. Tell me, what surprised you most about Einstein's story? What did you not know before? And if you want part 2, the story of Einstein's personal life, his family, his difficult marriage, and his final years, tell me in the comments. Write, "I want part 2." I read every comment. Every single one. Until next time, listen slowly, learn deeply, and stay curious. Goodbye, my friends.